Today we want to answer an honest question. If you're plugging your guitar into an amp, does it sound different if you're plugging in direct with a cord or
wireless?
So we're going to check it out. We're going to put it through its paces. Stay tuned for this actually very practical test. Bing. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, make sure to visit our Teespring store link below for our custom designed t-shirts. And by the way, thanks for helping us get closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers. We really appreciate it. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And also like the videos. It makes sure that other people that are interested in the same stuff that you are interested in find our videos. And today we are actually doing a very practical, very somewhat scientific test because we're going to put these two concepts to the test, plugging in direct to an amp, which probably 90% of us or more do, versus
wireless system.
Wireless system. And to do that, we've got one of the newest wireless systems from Boss, and this is the WL50. And you know what I like about this? This is the demonstration, honestly, that technology is improving and getting smaller and smaller because this is the size of a Boss pedal.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty cool.
It has your wireless plug-in for the guitar integrated into it, and it wirelessly recharges when plugged into this pedal, and that pedal is the receiver, and it will be powered. Right now we have it powered with battery. You can power it with a power supply, and it will also power other pedals in a daisy chain type situation. So all in all, really cool. It's got input, it's got output, and of course this is your input, but you could plug in direct, I guess, if you have a signal chain similar to that, or if you are wanting to just plug in direct, or you lose battery, something like that. Yep. Do you remember old battery, or rather old wireless systems though?
Yeah.
Where you had to have a body pack?
Yeah, you get the transmitter in the back
with the antennas?
With antennas on it.
It's like you're tuning in TV.
That's pretty cool.
And that would sit on someone's amp or next to their. My favorite was if you had like this great pedal board and then you just had this giant receiver with antennas sticking up out of it so that you could walk 5 feet away occasionally.
Yeah.
So this is a much better solution. But here's the question, and I kind of have this really selfish reasons because I'm thinking about doing this. And the question is, does it change the tone, first of all? And what's the latency like?
Yeah, that will be the true test, I think. I think a little sacrifice in tone might, not a ton, but it's kind of worth, but the latency would be the big guy. So hopefully nothing crazy. I don't expect a ton, but.
Well, let's talk about, first of all, tone impact. Your tone going into a pedal board, going into an electric guitar amp, or even an acoustic guitar amp, whatever you're going into from your guitar, can be affected by the quality of your cable, by the length of your cable, by the overall length of your entire signal chain. A lot of people don't realize this. I actually saw Andertons do a quick little thing on Instagram, which is a great discussion about this because it comes down to buffering and attenuation that takes place over long runs of cable. So if you've got a really skinny cable like this, or if you've got 50 feet of cable either in one run or cumulatively through all of your different effects, it will rob your guitar of tone. Mostly you hear it in the high end.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks it out, makes it mid-range, can make it muddy sounding. And this is the reason for buffers, right? This is the reason, by the way, so many pedals for so many years were buffered. And then suddenly we had true bypass. Like the new thing on the block is true bypass. If you don't have the latest true bypass pedal, like what do you really have? But there's a reason for buffers, and it's that.
Yeah.
It's that the length of cable can diminish tone. And so, that in and of itself is an impact. But then you got to wonder, going wirelessly, how is that going to affect your tone?
Yeah.
Have you ever gone wirelessly at all in any of your setups?
I never have, so I'm excited to see about this. I play at this one venue in town that has this big kind of open outdoor area with a ton of tables. And I've seen a guy play there. I'm not going to name names, but he's got this whole looping setup, and he's kind of a one-man band in that way. Wireless, and he'll go down from the stage and play to individual tables, and it is frightening, and it's too close for comfort. So that turned me off. But the dude gets tips, let me tell you. So it might be worth it. Just it pays for itself.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even like doing it himself. but you know,
Yeah.
tips.
It's a novelty, but doesn't have to be a novelty. It can just be, you know.
He's like the one-man mariachi band. It's like, no, we're good. No, really.
Yeah, no,
we're good.
Solo. Yeah. I mean, he solos dozens of minutes out in the crowd, and some people love it. So
I just can't wait to put one of these on my pedal boards, and then at church just walk down the aisle and be in the back pew playing, and you know, that could be fun. I'll tell you what's interesting about this, being the baptismal playing. There is a cable tone switch, and this is the first time I've seen this on a wireless receiver. It might have been on other wireless receivers. I'm just saying it's the first time I've seen one. And it's taking into consideration what we've actually been talking about. So it's got off, short, and long as your cable tone. So what it's effectively doing is it's trying to simulate the EQ impact that a long cable run has. And you know, we basically just talked about the fact that that could be detrimental, but it could actually be a good thing. One of the things that has often been talked about with Hendrix's tone is that he used those curly cables, you know, the slinky kind of pull apart coiled cables, and you're increasing your run so much with something like that, and it's taking off some of the high end, and it could effectively, if you have a really bright sounding guitar and a really bright sounding amp, it could kind of make it a little creamier sounding. And so if you like that tone, you can experiment actually with this, having it off and you're getting the sound as you should, having it short, which I'm assuming is going to have some EQ that would be a short cable run, some attenuation, not very much, and then long would be more attenuation, taking out some of the high end, which you may or may not like.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But the big question also with these is not just tone, it's latency. So tell all the ladies and gentlemen at home what latency is.
I mean, I don't know how to describe it in terms of, you know, technicality, but the way I think of it is I'm strumming and then I hear that thing, you know, maybe half a second later.
Delay when you don't want it?
Yeah, it's not the best kind of delay, you know. But obviously you would think logically the further you get away from the kind of receiver of this, the longer it's taking for that signal to get there. So is there any kind of like blip, or if you take one step too far, are you going to be throwing your whole band out of tempo and out of, you know, all that kind of thing?
That's the big thing too, is with a band.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you're playing by yourself, there's guys that have latency and don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Because they're not even hearing it. There's going to be some latency, period. In fact, if you ever go to like a very large venue, they will set up delay arrays because of the amount of time it takes sound to travel. You know, it's calculating how long it takes to get to the back row. You know, they're taking all that consideration. But you don't want that at the beginning of your signal. And you definitely find it to be very apparent when you're playing with other people, because suddenly it's like the rhythm's off. You know, when I've dealt with latency, because I've used everything from directly into tube amps to running through computers, and everything is through main stage, Logic, Pro Tools, whatever. That's where you can really experience a lot of latency.
Yeah.
So yeah, and with this, Boss's technology says that there's no adjustment. It's auto wireless connectivity to find the very best connection, so that right out of the box, as soon as you plug in, you have the lowest latency possible. So we are going to put it to the test, plugging this into an amp along with a cable to see if there's any difference in tone, and then we're going to walk away from the amp and see exactly how well it performs. But this is one of the cooler things on the block, and it doesn't come with much. It's basically the pedal. You can plug it in with a power supply, which is separate, and I love that you get rubber feet. You get a very basic in multiple language how-to guide, and then you get 2 read me first warning things, and so you can debate which read me first you're going to read first. But yeah, overall, really cool pedal. I might add this receiving pedal-sized wireless guitar system to my pedal board. So, you ready to put it through its paces?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so there you have it. We've tested the Boss WL50 wireless guitar system versus a cable, versus a plugged-in tone, and also how it performed as we got further and further away with our guitar and the receiving. So what did you think about the performance of this? I think it makes for a pretty flexible performance option, you know, where you're not exactly tied and you don't have to have really long cable runs. And, you know, there might be some tonal benefit, arguably. But, you know, what did you think? Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's cool. I never really considered having a wireless system just because it's not something that I've ever, you know, I'd kind of stay in the same place always when I'm playing, and it's never really occurred to me. But for certain people that I know that enjoy it, they're more, you know, dynamic performers. It's a really cool tool. I like the pedal size, like fit on a board kind of thing. I mean, it's just a cool thing, and Boss with all of their non-pedal kind of effects. I mean, yeah, there's effects in katanas and all that, but like with the katana line, stuff like this, like they just keep cranking out really cool stuff. So
I think it's a really well thought out application for wireless connectivity and really what guitarists need. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It charges automatically. You could plug this in with USB and charge it as well. And you know, I'll say this, one of the things that always kept me away from previous systems was the whole body pack thing. And you see a lot of professional musicians where they have it, you know, attached to a strap, and every single guitar comes out, has its own, you know, transmitter to go to the receiver. And this is just, I think it's just a better execution of the idea. So.
And I can't tell you what the actual model number is, but there is a katana that has one of these built in.
The Katana Air.
The Katana Air.
Yeah.
It's built in, so you have the Boss amp, you got the great effects and everything, and you can, you know, have this all ready to go. So for practice, for at home, all that kind of stuff, it's a really cool option that they've integrated that.
You know what's cool about the Katana Air, even though it's not what we're reviewing, is if you set the guitar down, it has like a gyroscope in it that knows that you've set the guitar down, and so it turns off.
Really?
To save battery on the transmitter.
Who thinks of that?
I
didn't think of that.
Pretty cool stuff. So anyways, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, and keep coming back for more. At the end of the day, whether you're plugged in or you're wireless, the best guitar in the world
is the one that you use when you're walking around at a gig and you go up to certain tables. They're eating. You're making them lose their appetite because you're sweating on them. You're jamming hardcore. You might be playing a song they don't like. That's the best guitar right there.
And Cooper just described his next gig. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.